Welcome back. Today we are going to have a productive day. I can feel it. It's a good energy day. I'm sending you good energy. So if you need to get something done, we can do it together. And if you're not feeling it today, if today is a rest day for you, I'm hoping to get you some productivity satisfaction. I've got a to-do list here that I will probably add to and not get to everything, but it just is a brain dump of all the things I need to do. Starters, we need to reset this kitchen. It's gotten a little bit out of control. We've had a busy few days and we've got some catching up to do. So that is on the priority number one list. So we're gonna take care of some of that, some basic cleaning tasks, some organization hopefully, and some deep cleaning hopefully. I am so glad you are here. Let's just dive right in. I know there are a lot of videos you could have clicked on, but you chose mine, and I'm just so grateful to have you here. We also have a lot of new friends here, and I just wanted to give you all a special shout out. We have a wonderful, supportive community here. We don't focus on perfection, we focus on progress. And yeah, I just hope you leave here encouraged and motivated here to handle all that life is throwing at you right now. You know what I've really come to appreciate? The ability to shut out the world, crank up the tunes, get lost in the music while knocking out some chores. My kids have actually learned that if they disappear when I start cleaning, I'm not going to put them to work. And you know what? It works out because I get to jam out virtually unbothered. If they come downstairs and start asking me for things or whatever, they know that I will put them to work. But don't worry, they still get chores. But I've also learned that I enjoy my chores a little more if I'm not having to manage them at the same time. So it's a win-win. They get a little break and I get to jam. What am I jamming to, you may ask? Well, at this particular moment, it's Tracy Chapman, Give Me One Reason. But I will go between my Christian station, Chris Stapleton station, Hosier, and on Pandora, they have a station called Laid Back Beach Music. That's really good too. It's a lot of Jimmy Buffett, reggae, like Bob Marley. I mean, it just gives you those like laid back beach vibes. Like you're on the beach sipping a margarita or something. And I tell you what, being laid back on a beach right now sounds amazing. It has been such a tough week here. I lost my grandfather on my dad's side, and then I also lost my cousin on my mom's side who was 27 years old. He was born with a genetic condition that was terminal, and we're grateful for 27 years with him. But anyway, yeah, I have been trying to film this voiceover for the past 5 days, and I have just basically been staring at the screen. My mind has just been elsewhere, so I apologize that this video is extremely late. But y'all are always so gracious to me, and I'm so grateful for that. You have no idea. I miss you guys when I'm away. I just am so encouraged by the comments you leave me. And when I'm feeling down, I just go back to those and read those. So thank you for that. But I am feeling much, much better today. And I feel a sense of normalcy returning. So we are going to get this thing done. One thing I really wanted to talk about today was my weight loss and my experience the last 11 months that I was on Ozempic. You know I am an open book here, and probably a little too open, but it's important for me to share this experience because I know this is a hot button topic. Ozempic did a lot for me, but it also took away a lot. I experienced a side effect that I was told was not caused by the Ozempic, which we will get into here in a second. To give a little background, I have always struggled with an unknown cause of inflammation. I started seeing doctors for it actually 10 years ago. They can see it in my blood work, but up until a few months ago, they couldn't give me any answers. They had ruled out all the known autoimmune disorders. We now think we know the cause, and I have begun treatment to confirm that as of March or April this year. This is important to later on in the story. So June 2022, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. My doctor said, hey, there's a drug on the market that will not only treat this, but it is also known to help you lose weight. I did not hesitate. I said, where do I sign? At this point, I could look at a cheeseburger and gain weight. It didn't matter how much I starved myself. I could not lose weight to save my life and was very discouraged. With the unbridled diabetes, my body was just in fat storing mode. I actually stopped weighing myself after the scale hit 308, so I don't exactly know how heavy I was. But if I had to estimate, it was right around 310 or 315. So after jumping through many hoops with insurance, I was able to start on the lowest dose of Ozempic a month later. That was the 0.25 milligram dose. Those first 3 months were amazing. For the first time in my life, I finally knew what it was like to feel satiated. I had felt full before, but never so satiated that I stopped thinking about food. Food had ruled my life. I never stopped thinking about it, and on Ozempic, it almost made me repulsed by food. I was eating at most kid-sized meals and even skipping meals because the thought of food made me sick. Consequently, the weight just flew off. After the first month, I was able to go up to the 0.5 milligram dose, and I lost 30 pounds those first 3 months. I was telling all my friends it was like having bariatric surgery without going through the actual surgery itself. After being on it for 6 months, my weight loss started to stall, so they upped me to the 1 milligram. So, okay, let's talk side effects. So the mechanics of this drug are to slow down digestion so your stomach stays full. So the side effects for me included nausea, severe acid reflux, and bowel issues, which we're all putting up with to get that weight loss. One side effect I was having was severe body aches and extreme fatigue, which wasn't super noticeable in the beginning because it wasn't uncommon for me before taking this medication. I just wrote it off as the inflammation I'd been struggling with for years. So we're going to fast forward. I'm working with a new oncologist for the inflammation, and he has me on a treatment plan for that. I began to notice that my sick days were less. And I started to notice, wow, I'm actually having really good days a couple days a week. Then I started to see a defined pattern on day 2 and 3 after my injection that I would be really sick. We're talking extreme body aches that had me in tears and fatigue. I was stuck in the bed for 2 days out of the week. And so that got me talking with the oncologist. He would always ask me if I'm seeing improvement to his treatment. And I pointed out, I think it's working, but this Ozempic might be interfering with me experiencing the full benefits. So I explained to him the pattern I was seeing. He said, let's look this up. That's not a side effect listed as Ozempic, but at the same time, we really don't know the full implications of this drug. But I knew in my heart it was hurting me. But I was also afraid to come off of it because anybody will tell you that you will gain all or most of your weight back if you come off of it. So I wrestled with myself for about a month until I finally decided I would take my chances. I had changed my diet and lifestyle as well, and I was going to lean into that to continue my weight loss. I have been off of it for a little over 4 weeks, and I have never felt so good. And I have lost 5 pounds on my own. Now, I'm cautiously optimistic that I can at least keep it off and hopefully lose more. I've had consistent good energy for the first time in years. And yeah, it was just a good lesson in trusting your body. My doctor even said, this is my general practitioner, that my A1C has been so low, I can spend the next 3 months seeing if I can manage my sugars with diet and exercise alone. Yes. So I'm working hard to maintain that. That has not been easy. But if I can do it, I know it will be worth it. And if I can't, I promised myself I wouldn't beat myself up about it. So would I recommend Ozempic? Yes and no. I would recommend it to someone before they go into bariatric surgery. Even despite my experience, I would go back and do it again. But this time stopping after that first 3 to 6 months and have a plan in place to maintain my loss. In a strange way, it gave me my life back and hope that I could do better again. I had lost that. I had almost given up, that I was just always going to be sick and tired. But on the flip side of that, I would not recommend it to someone if they have a healthy body and just want to lose weight. As my doctor said, we just don't know the long-term ramifications, and I wouldn't want to risk a perfectly healthy body for a few pounds. So, that's my hot take on that. And as of today, I weigh 264, and I am 5'6", just to give you height reference. This wasn't on my list, but I wanted to make some room in the fridge. This box of eggs, and can we just take a moment and say, hallelujah, the price of eggs have come way back down. We go through so many eggs in this house, and that was painful. $20-something a box was painful. I have a super easy freezer meal for you all. I don't share a lot of cooking on here, but I am a big fan of freezer meals. And when I come across a good one, I want to share it with you all. Freezer meals are obviously great to have on hand when you need something easy, but they also come in handy when you hear of that friend who just had surgery or has a new baby. You can gift these either to them hot or frozen. Actually, when my kids were born, my mother-in-law would stock our freezer with freezer meals, so when people stopped bringing over meals, we would have easy, prepped, home-cooked dinners to pull out. And she's actually the one that got me hooked on these. Anyway, this recipe couldn't be easier. I'm going to pop up a slide here so you can screenshot. It is 1 package of ravioli, 1 pound of cooked ground hamburger meat or cooked ground beef, and 1 large jar of tomato sauce. I use these mega jars, so for these 3 casseroles, I only use 2 of them. Then you're going to top with mozzarella cheese. I also added a little bit of water to the jars and shook them up and put about a cup of water into each pan to help cook the pasta, but I think I will reduce that next time or just skip it all together. We cooked one of these that night and put the other 2 in the freezer, and I would say that the 1 cup of water made it too runny. But yeah, this is my favorite way to cook freezer meals or build up freezer meals. Just double or triple whatever you're cooking and throw the extras in the freezer. When you store these in the freezer, spray whatever lid you're using with cooking spray to help keep the cheese from melting to the top. And then you're going to bake these from frozen, 375 for 40 minutes covered and then 20 minutes uncovered, or until it is hot and bubbly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the chicken marinades. I got all these chicken marinades from Downshiftology. She's on YouTube. I'll link her in the description box. But today we're going to make the Greek lemon and my favorite, the fajita. I love having the fajita on hand. The fajita chicken is just one that you can have on salads and tacos, just as a grilled chicken entree by itself. It's really, really delicious. I actually have not tried the Greek lemon yet, but I am looking forward to it. Also for salads, I was thinking about getting some pita bread and making some tzatziki sauce and all that stuff, and actually having like a Greek pita. So I don't know what I will use it for. I've really enjoyed all of these. And actually, I'm looking at it. I thought I was only gonna have enough chicken for 3 meals, but I actually had enough for 4 meals. So I'm gonna do this honey mustard one here as well. I just love having meals in the freezer ready to go, and especially in the summertime, grilled meat is delicious, and this chicken breast always comes out juicy, so it's just a good staple to have in the freezer. It's actually been about a week since I filmed this, and we have tried the Greek lemon, and Steven could not stop singing its praises. He loved it. It was good, but fajita's still my favorite. The fajita marinade is just going to be really hard for anything else to beat it. And if you're not marinating your chicken breasts, you are missing out, because this just makes the chicken breast so much more juicy. I feel like, chicken thighs, you can slap some sauce on it and get away with it. But this marinated really makes the chicken breast tender and juicy. I think I'm going to do 2 Greek lemon. Or should I do 2 fajita?
2 fajita.
You think I should do 2 fajita? I'm going to do 2 fajita, 1 Greek lemon. Because we don't know if we like the Greek lemon yet. But Greek lemon, 1/4 cup of olive oil. 3 tablespoons lemon juice.
Lemon juice is sour.
Yeah, it is a little sour.
Mom?
Just so I don't use too much lemon, I'm going to squeeze it into the tablespoon if I can. 1. 2. Okay. So each lemon is about 2 tablespoons, or each half is about 2 tablespoons. So we're going to do half of this lemon. Okay. And then we'll just do a little bit of this one and a little bit of that one. Can't ever have too much citrus, in my opinion. Eric's hanging out with me today while I prepare these. All right, so we got olive oil, lemon juice. We need some minced garlic. Okay, so we need a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of oregano, salt and pepper. All right, Greek lemon done. That smells fantastic. That smells really good. I have found every good chicken marinade has a fat and a citrus, and then you just flavor it with whatever seasons you're going for. So in this case, fajita, which this one called for garlic, cumin, paprika, chili powder. Anyway, I think it's the lime juice that really makes this one pop. It just has such a fresh, almost cantina type vibe to it. Anyway, you guys really got to try that one. Also, the footage of me making all these chicken marinades, including filming, was 12 minutes. And I like to share with you guys how long it takes me to do certain things, because I cannot tell you how many times I would talk myself out of doing something positive for myself, like preparing healthy chicken marinades, because I would overestimate the amount of time and energy that goes into doing them. Seriously. And you know what it would do? It would drive me to make even more unhealthy decisions for myself. Oh, I don't have time to meal prep, so let me just grab takeout. Yeah. Goodbye health. Bye bank account. So anyway, it's really helpful for me to pay attention to the time I take in doing these things so that I can see that it isn't as bad as I may have built up in my mind. And I'm hopeful that maybe someone out there can find encouragement in that too. As I power through this laundry pile like a mad woman, I want to challenge you down in the comments. If you've been around a while, you know I like to do this from time to time because it helps us create those positive neuro pathways. And I actually encourage you to do this every day. Maybe get a journal. Maybe I'm working on a journal that includes this. But I want you to think back to the last 24 hours. Okay, close your eyes. Think back to the last 24 hours and tell me 3 positive things that happened to you. It doesn't have to be anything grand. It can be as small as you were able to get up and do basic care tasks. Or it can be something as huge as winning the lottery, which, can you share with me? That'd be great. Just kidding. But let me know down in the comments. And just a little side challenge. Why don't you hit that like button, maybe even that subscribe button if you aren't already. Would love to have you. Not only did we get clothes folded, but we got them put away too. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, go say something kind to yourself, and we will see you in the next one.